Competency 11. Family involvement. Parents are partners, not problems. Real talk. Do you call parents only when something's wrong? If you do, you're not alone. But here's the problem with that. When you only call home for bad news, parents start dreading your name. And that's not good for anyone, especially the student. Today we're talking about Competency 11, family involvement, and the main idea of it all. Family involvement is better everything. When families are involved, students do better, better grades, better attendance, better behavior, better everything. So let's break down how to make that happen without making it harder on yourself. The one big idea. Here's the one sentence you need to remember for the whole competency. Family involvement is not nice to have it. It directly impacts student success. Family involvement is not just nice to have it. The truth is that it directly impacts the student success. And this is not me talking, that's research. When families are involved, you get higher student achievement, better attendance, better school climate, more effective schools. When families are not involved, you get the opposite: lower achievement, more absences, more problems. Family involvement is an indicator of success. So, this isn't optional, it's part of your job. Key verbs you need to know. The two key verbs for this competency are understands and knows. You must understand why family involvement matters, and you must know how to communicate with families effectively. Simple, right? Let's talk about the symbiotic relationship. It's a fancy word. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It means both sides benefit, like bees and flowers. Bees get food, flowers get pollinated, both win. Same thing with teachers and parents. Parents get information and support, teachers get help and partnership. So the student wins. It is not teacher versus parent. It is teacher and parent on the same team. Communication with families. The right way versus the wrong way. Let's talk about communicating with families. First, there are traditional methods like face to face conferences, phone calls, note sent home. Then there are the electronic methods like the email, the text messages, school apps, social media. Electronic is faster but easier to misunderstand. Here's the challenge. Electronic communication is faster, but it's also easier to misunderstand. No tone of voice, no facial expressions. Things get lost. So, what's appropriate communication, you ask? Well, appropriate means professional, plus respect, plus clear, plus timely, and plus private. So, professional tone, respectful language, clear and accurate information, timely responses, privacy respective. What's inappropriate, you ask? Angry or sarcastic tone, complaints without solutions, sharing information about other students, late night emails, personal opinions not related to school. So here's a simple rule you need to remember. Will you say it to their face? If not, don't type it. Engaging families. Here's something important. Families are not just spectators, they should be participants. Ways to engage families. Communication. This can be regular updates, letters, and phone calls. Volunteering, classroom help, and field trip chaperones. Decision making, PTA and PTO school committees. Learning at home, helping with homework, reading together. Collab with community, connecting families to resources. And here are your three responsibilities as a teacher. Invite participation. Make caregivers comfortable. And provide culturally appropriate interactions. You can't just say families are welcome. You have to actually make them feel welcome. Culture, cul- Culturally appropriate interactions, aka respect matters. Let me break down what culturally appropriate means. It means respecting different family structures, like single parents, grandparents raising kids, foster parents, and also same sex parents. Using, inter- Using interpreters when needed, understanding cultural norms about eye contact, personal space, and authority, being flexible with meeting times and locations, providing materials in multiple languages. So, the simple rule here is to remember: treat every family with respect, learn about their culture, don't assume. And here's what diverse characteristics include: family structures, economic status, education level, language, culture, race and ethnicity, and ability. Every family is different. Welcome them all. Regular communication. Call with good news. This is one of the most important tips I can give you. Communication must be regular, not just when there's a problem. So here's the bad pattern. Only call when in trouble. Only email for problems. Only contact at report card time. Parents dread your name. Here's the good pattern. Call with good news too. Send positive updates. Contact weekly or monthly, and parents are happy to hear from you. Families respond better when you call with good news. Here's what happens when you do this. Open communication creates comfort levels that encourages parents to start conversations. That means parents will actually call you. They will trust you. And when there is a problem, they'll work with you instead of against you. Simple rule. Call parents when their child does something good. This will trust They will trust you when there's a problem. Responding to family concerns. When a parent has concerns, what do? You do four things. Listen, don't interrupt, don't get defensive. Take it seriously, don't dismiss them. Respond promptly, not days later. Follow up, make sure the issue is resolved. Simple rule. If a parent has a concern, act like it matters, because it does. Effective parent conferences. Start positive. Parent conferences can be scary for parents and teachers. Why are parents nervous? They remember their own bad school experiences. They expect to hear only bad news. They feel judged. They don't know what to expect. So, what should you do? Before the conference, you have to plan what to say, have work samples ready, prepare solutions, not just problems, set a welcoming tone. During the conference, share positive information first, give specific, not general feedback, affirm parental support, and provide specific interventions based on student needs. Start positive. End with the plan, never attack. Here's a quote you need to remember: parents send their very best to school every day, and teachers need to acknowledge that. Every parent is doing their best. Acknowledge that, appreciate that. Family support. Connect them to help. Sometimes families struggle with things outside of school, like food, housing, healthcare, clothing, and counseling. That's not your job to fix, but it is your job to connect them to people who can help. Examples of family support resources are food banks, housing assistance, healthcare clinics, mental health counseling, after school programs, tutoring services, legal aid, employment services. When needs are met, families can focus on learning. When basic needs are met, the students and the family can actually focus on learning. You're not a social worker, but you can be a bridge. Guess our favorites for the test. If you're studying for the test and you get stuck on a question, pick the answer that matches one of these two favorites. Favorite number one, interact appropriately with all families, including those with diverse characteristics, backgrounds, and needs. Favorite number two, conducts effective conferences with parents, guardians, and other legal caregivers. Those are the two the test loves. Recap. Number one, family involvement means better grades, better attendance, better behavior, better school climate. Symbiotic relationships means both sides benefit, which is the teacher and the parent, which they become a team. Regular communication, call with good news, not just problems. Electric communication, yes, it is faster, but easier to misunderstand. Culturally appropriate, respect all families, use interpreters, and be flexible. Parent conferences, that means you have to start positive, be specific, and end with the plan. Family support resources, you have to connect them to community agencies. Parents send their very best. Acknowledge and appreciate that. Done. The one thing you must remember, here's the bottom line. Family involvement is not optional. It directly impacts student success, better grades, better attendance, better behavior, better everything. Your job is to build that bridge. Make families feel welcome. Call with good news. Start conferences with positives. Connect them to help when they need it. Um, when families and teachers work together, students win. So go build those bridges. If this helped you, hit like and subscribe and tell a teacher friend who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, you are the boss of family involvement.